with ADHD? Help turn the tables with Qelbree, a non-stimulant prescription medication for children 6 to 17 with ADHD. For challenging ADHD symptoms, once daily Qelbree helps provide significant relief. So instead of their world revolving around ADHD, Qelbree helps make ADHD symptoms manageable. It's not known if Qelbree is safe and effective for children under 6. Pay attention to changes in your child's mood, behavior, thoughts, or feelings within the first few months of treatment or when the dose is changed, as medications like Qelbree may increase the risk of suicidal thoughts or behaviors in some children. Tell your doctor about all your child's medications. Do not take MAOIs with or within 14 days of starting Qelbree. Qelbree can increase heart rate and blood pressure and may cause manic episodes in patients with bipolar disorder. Qelbree may cause sleepiness or fatigue, so use caution before driving or operating heavy machinery. Visit Qelbree.com and ask their doctor if non-stimulant Qelbree can help make your child's ADHD symptoms manageable.
To rail and stack multiple TNT minecarts on top of each other. This glitches the game and creates an insane amount of explosive power. Just don't touch it, or you'll probably end an entire race of villager. When thinking of unbreakable Minecraft blocks, bedrock is probably first to come to mind. You can't break bedrock with lava, TNT, or even a literal nuke. So would it surprise you that all it really takes is snow? In 1.17, if you place a cauldron and fill it up with powdered snow, then place a block above it and click the cauldron, it just disappears. Wow, nice job, Mojang. The Wither can't swim, making it impossible to spawn them underwater. However, there's a catch. If you swim to the bottom of the ocean and build a little bunker, you can spawn the Wither boss at the bottom of the ocean. And when released, it will kind of just stay in the ocean like a weird fish. So hey, if you want an invincible, three-headed fish that does nothing, you know what to do. Did you know you can break Minecraft by predicting exactly where lightning strikes land? Well, most lightning strikes are spontaneous. If you load specific chunks at the right time, as discovered by a group called the Prototech server, you can actually predict and direct lightning strikes. This is extremely useful, making it really easy for you to farm OP mobs, such as Skeleton Horsemen. From there, you can collect all their loot and end up a rich man. You can also just farm your friends, which is another really good option. Feel free to add their dogs to spice things up a little. If you've ever been to a village, you'd know pillagers absolutely hate villagers. I mean, like, Mojang literally coded them to find and murder their babies. But you can actually use this to break Minecraft, as pillagers are programmed to be very dumb. Very. If you put a villager in a minecart and have him circle around on a railroad, a pillager will forever go in circles, never able to reach him. Imagine bullying villagers. Losers. Wait! Minecraft seeds are randomly generated, meaning you can find entirely different kinds of structures depending on which world you spawn in. Normally, a good seed starts with spawning near a village or you finding yourself close to a desert temple. However, the best kind of seeds are the ones that absolutely defy all types of Minecraft logic, having weird lava structures like this or a literal glitched ender portal. These seeds completely break and defy every rule of Minecraft. So if you want to break Minecraft, try loading up one of these seeds. That'll give you a good excuse to blow up your friend's base. And their dogs. Don't forget the dogs. Hey, what are you doing? It was a Minecraft seed! That doesn't even make any sense! Piglin bartering is super overpowered, but it's so slow. Luckily, Bedrock Edition pros found a way to speed it up by 100 times. All you need to do is grab a sticky piston and a gold block, and took it up to a super fast clock. Then when you drop the gold, the piglin will pick a piece of gold up every time the block moves, giving you supercharged trading! Swimming with Dolphin's Grace is even faster than using a boat. The only drawback is that it's quite difficult to breathe down here. However, there is a secret solution that lets you literally breathe underwater. If you punch a mob while swimming, you'll stand up for a split second. When you head to the surface, you'll be able to breathe like you're scuba diving. Another way to breathe underwater is to bring a bucket and simply just spam it against the block in front of you. The water will disappear for a split second at a time, letting you grab all the air you need. Look, everybody knows about the water bucket clutch now. I've been doing it since before Dream was even born. But in the Nether, doing this is a little bit harder. For some weird reason though, snow and powder snow doesn't melt here, which means you can clutch with it, and it looks way more stylish than just riding a boat down. How on earth am I supposed to get back up? Well, if you have a second bucket and some leather boots, you can pillar up by placing 2 blocks of it, picking the lower one up, and repeating. Just make sure not to crouch at any point, especially over lava. I like to call this trick a drip leaf drop. A big drip leaf creates a platform that can hold you up, but it folds soon after. Grow one above a big pit and lead you... your friend over it. You'll trigger the fold, and they'll fall right in. Hey! If your friend is online and you can access a house, they have a really weird trick by building an upside-down version of their house on top of their regular house. It's a bizarre, mind-bending monument that will take time to remove, if they even want to. If your friend is a pet dog, a real sadistic trick is to replace it with your own. Hide their dog and name your own dog the same name. Then watch as your friend struggles, wondering why it won't listen to them anymore. You can even hit your friend and watch as they run screaming from the dog they thought was their best friend. Both rabbits and foxes are also scared of wolves and will be hunted down if they go anywhere near a pack of them. The scariest part is that the wolves don't even eat the meat the animals drop, meaning they only hunt for the fun of it. Now do you understand why I hate them? Oh yeah, and rabbits are also scared of cats and players too. Bats are easily the least dangerous mob in the game. These things are so stupid. In fact, that's actually their weakness. Bats are so dumb that sometimes when they're flying around a cave, they'll fly straight into a pool of lava. I get why they don't even drop XP now. Silverfish take the term strength in numbers to the next level. On their own, they're harmless, but if you're trapped in a room with 15 of them, it gets a little scarier. However, if you have a weapon strong enough to kill them in one hit, they won't call in support. Parrots are actually a super useful thing to have around as they warn you of nearby enemies and don't get attacked by mobs. They are, however, deathly allergic to cookies, and feeding one to a parrot will kill it instantly. This is actually because in real life, parrots are allergic to chocolate, so keep that in mind, I guess. You probably already know that villagers are super weak to zombies. They don't even try to fight back. However, did you know that they're even more scared of pillagers? In fact, in a raid, villagers will actually start to sweat because they're so scared. Thank God they have a hero like me to protect them. An even deeper secret comes from the creeper head. Use a creeper head in a firework recipe, and the explosion will take the shape of a giant creeper's face. But some secrets are so deep we have to go back in time to get them. Snowy grass was patched out long ago, but if you make a world in the 1.16 version of Minecraft, get an enderman in the nether to pick up a snow-covered grass block and put it down, then take the map from the game files into a new world in the current version of Minecraft, that block will still be there. Don't mind it though, or it'll be gone forever. In the Woodland Mansion, there is an item you were never meant to see in survival. In Bedrock Edition Beta 1.16.0.57, the secret lava room in the Woodland Mansion would normally hide the diamond block, but this version would glitch out, showing the secret barrier block instead. So many rare finds are in old updates, including the most powerful of all. Load Minecraft Snapshot 22W13 one block at a time, and you will find an insane change. The Endermen spawn with random items in their hands, including the rarest of them all, a command block in a minecart. This only spawns 0.0001% of the time, and for good reason. If you can get the rare command block out and use it, you can use them to get Endermen to drop the end gateway block that is normally impossible to get in survival. Use this code in the command block, and Endermen will now have the chance to drop this endgame item Mojang never wanted you to have. You can use these fire arrows to light TNT, but what else does this work with? Eggs are projectiles. Do they work? Oh yeah, they do. Snowballs would just melt, wouldn't they? Nope, that works too. Okay, there's no way the fishing rod works too. It does? That's insane! Oh no. Have you ever been to the cinema and had your eardrums blown out by the super loud noise? Well, legend has it this was actually added to Minecraft. If you find a 2% screaming goat, it has a 1 in 4 chance of dropping the call horn. And when you blow it, I'll say that's confirmed. You can make a door with end rods that mobs can't get through. This one's weird because the end rods are thin enough for us to walk through. So why wouldn't mobs be able to? Oh, I guess it works. That's strange. Maybe they see them as full blocks like they do with trapdoors? Grindstones remove the enchants from items, so surely it makes sense for it to do the same for a notch apple, right? Oh, I guess not. Why would you even want to do that? Wait, what if I put an enchantment on it with an anvil and then put it in the grindstone after? There we go. I'll call that one a maybe. Most players beat the Ender Dragon by taking out all the crystals and then hitting it with a sword. But excuse you? I watched Dream back in the day, and not only have I seen his face before he put the mask back on, but even I know that you can skip this process entirely by waiting for the dragon to perch and then using beds to blow it up. Take that, American military! Cactuses are able to destroy items when thrown at them, but they are the only block that can do this. Dropping an anvil on some items from 4 blocks or higher will instantly destroy those items. Pretty cool. The invisibility potion is great for hiding from your friends, or to sneak past mobs, but for some reason, villagers will still look at you, even if you're completely invisible. The same thing happens with enchanting tables, so if you're trying to spy on your friends, make sure a villager don't snitch on you. It's so much fun finding buried treasure, but where is it? I'm at the X! Everyone makes a mistake of just guessing the X exactly is pointing, but you might be off by a few blocks. So to be absolutely sure, look at the coordinates in the chunk selection. The treasure will always spawn at 9-9 for that chunk. It should be straight down. The nether is where mistakes can be deadly. It's very easy to catch fire, and water disappears instantly. Or does it? The big big mistake people make is not bringing a cauldron and buckets of water. Even in the nether, water in a cauldron will not disappear. So when you catch fire, put yourself out with this cool trick. A big mistake is to not keep up with what's changed in game updates. In version 1.18, they even changed the way diamonds spawn. It used to be that diamonds mostly
Epic trucks, epic stunts. Monster Jam. Monster Jam Gravedigger Tracks RC. Gripping Gravedigger action on tank treads. Nothing can stop it. Speeds on water. Take Monster Jam stunts to the next level. Monster Jam Gravedigger Tracks RC. Out now.
These showed up between depths 5 to 12, but now you'll find them showing up more and more all the way down to bedrock. A mistake that has taken millions of lives is digging under sand and having it fall on your head. The best way to avoid dying is to put a torch under any falling blocks. Any sand or gravel that falls on the torch breaks instantly. In the 1.6 update of Minecraft, they added horses, and it turns out this was brought in from an unofficial fan mod. Mojang saw Dr. Zark's Mo Creatures mod and even copied the horse model itself. Wandering traders look great, but what your friends don't know is that you can breed their llamas and the babies will keep the clothes of their parents. It's a weird little detail, but you can make a whole army of fashionable llama. Mojang love making secret references to other games, such as when an evoker sees a blue sheep. The evoker casts a unique spell, makes a weird wololo sound, and turns a sheep red. It's a reference to Age of Empires, where monks would convert enemies to their side, chanting wololo and changing their color. A fish out of water bounces and flops, but you can actually get them jumping way higher. On a slime block, they'll gain height, sometimes up to 17 blocks high. The world-famous creeper is the face of Minecraft, but they actually have a secret past. They weren't designed. They were an accident! Like my birth. The developers were trying to make pigs, but instead of making them long, they made them extra tall. This created the frightening creature we know today. Did you know that spiders never touch the ground? That's because of how the model is made. Even though it's on the floor, the legs never actually reach the block below it. A secret, dirty little trick you can do is build an end portal above your friend's bed. So when they respawn, they'll instantly teleport to the end and will have to live there until the bed or the portal is broken. Now think about it. If you can remove all the mobs in your world, there's no need to protect your base. So how on earth do you do that? Well, as usual, Lamango has a solution. If you create this super simple warden farm, you can use note blocks to lure dozens of wardens into this prison with a vine inside. Eventually, so many wardens will spawn that it prevents any mob from spawning anywhere in the entire world. However, this is terrifying, and there's a much easier way to get basically the same effect. Simply grab a boat and spend some time looking for a mushroom island. Other than the deep dark, which has other problems, this is the only place mobs won't spawn naturally. And it's the perfect backdrop to build an awesome fantasy base. They can be quite hard to find, but you can always use a seed map if you're feeling devious. If you've got a cramped house like this one and you're trying to figure out where to put the ladder, try placing a line of trapdoors like this and putting the ladders on them. Alternatively, if you're uncreative, try using the debug stick to create floating ladders that take up even less space. Now that's ingenuity. Here's a cool way to make an armor stand look like it's holding a sword. Start by placing an end rod with a candle on top, then pushing an armor stand into it from behind. Then put some armor on it and push 2 blocks down behind it, and you have your very own knight in shining armor. And since you're obviously building a sick castle, if you make some ornate carpets using a combination of shulker boxes and glazed terracotta. Hey, I don't want to hear anything about how expensive shulkers are. You own a castle! As long as the colors are similar, it really doesn't matter how you lay out carpet. It'll look cool either way. If you're trying to make a dark, creepy cave, try adding shadowy cracks with signs inside. If you add this character to them, dye it red and add a glow ink sac. It'll create these super scary looking eyes that glow in the darkness. Come on, Grandma, take a look. Ah! Speaking of, nether wart blocks make a fantastic blood substitute. For city builders, try placing a campfire below a loom to simulate a vent. This same technique also works for a barbecue grill. 1.20 already has me hyped. Check out these new bamboo blocks they're giving us. You can use these mosaic blocks to make cool floor patterns, and these new chiseled bookshelves for a new wall design. Maybe mix in other wooden blocks again to make it even more interesting. Sea pickles look kind of like pumpkin stems, and a stripped mangrove log, flower pot, and mangrove propagule put together makes a really big beetroot for farm decoration. But if that's not enough, try adding kegs made of trapdoors with raw iron in for potatoes and coral blocks in for berries and grapes. This works for other things too, like using a respawn anchor and trident instead to make a spooky animated witch's cauldron. Item frames and signs can actually be placed on the same block, letting you double label chests. You can even dye the sign for extra customization. Scaffolding makes a perfect table impossible to put flower pots or other decorations on. Sometimes the only thing your build is missing is just a little bit of detail, and often buttons are the best solution to this. Whether it's dotting them around your roof and walls or chucking them next to a pond as pebbles, they're perfect for adding a little bit of extra interest. They make great fidget toys too. If you're looking for an extra block or color to add somewhere to your build, the answer is probably in a stripped log. Their textures are super simple, but with mangrove, jungle, acacia, and warped logs, there's tons of different and interesting colors to choose from.
Staying connected when you're busy is deliciously simple. It's all in the snacks. Ritz, a taste of welcome.
Interesting colors to choose from. 6 lecterns placed like this looks suspiciously like a coffin that's been broken out of. This pairs perfectly with a gravestone made of soul soil, anvils, and a wither skeleton skull. Everybody wants to have the most diamonds on a server, right? But it can take ages to find them on the ground. Now, of course, there's ways to search caves faster and a way to strip mine 10 diamonds an hour, but screw that. We're trying to get banned. That's where X-ray texture packs come in, completely breaking the game. These texture packs make every block but diamonds invisible, meaning when you look down, you can see exactly where the diamonds are. This is one of the oldest cheats in Minecraft, and almost all servers completely ban it. And remember, if you get caught, say you just got lucky. One of the strangest things in the world of Minecraft accounts is that at one point, you could make accounts with the same name. You could only do this with some really sneaky tricks, but it led to some pretty funny incidents. On Hypixel, the biggest server there is, you could actually teleport if you had both of the accounts with the same name. This meant you could go anywhere you wanted on the map and surprise enemies in PvP games. It totally ruined the game for everyone else, and as you can imagine, the admins don't like this at all. So if you're one of the lucky ones who can do this, use it wisely. Mojang has another big rule about accounts, but this one might be something you guys have done without even knowing. You're actually not allowed to use somebody else's account, the same way Netflix doesn't like you sharing passwords. That's right, even if it's someone in your family, they need their own account. One of the easiest ways to get banned is to spawn kill someone. But did you know you can also spawn trap someone in the end? In lots of servers, the end is usually a place to go and collect rare and valuable items and is super dangerous, so they'll come in good gear. This means you can trap the obsidian platform, use swords, lava, and even end crystals to take them out super quick. You can even use one of the traps from my last video and send a bunch of TNT to the end first, so anyone that goes through gets blown up instantly. Do this enough times and you'll secure yourself that good old tasty ban. Delicious. When playing on competitive servers, you're gonna need to hide your base somewhere in the wilderness, away from any prying eyes that want to steal your items. However, one of the most annoying and cruel things you can do is to leak the coordinates of your team's base. Other teams will flock straight to the location and fight over anything they can possibly find. Because of how evil this is, most servers ban anyone that leaks coordinates. And if you want to take it a step further, how about you leak his house address too? Speaking of servers, ever joined a hardcore survival server, as all you need to do to get banned is to die? Who knew getting banned could be that easy? But a mod I wish spawned in naturally was this unused pillager, and it's probably the coolest one yet. It's called the Illusioner, and instead of just using boring crossbows and axes, this one casts spells. And if you even just get close to one of them, it turns completely invisible and summons 4 duplicates in its place. I'm starting to see why these things were removed. They're so overpowered. Go, dog, go! Oh, what a shame. Pets are a man's best friend, but we're starved for fluffy buddies in Minecraft. All we have are dogs, cats, foxes, and parrots. We need more cuteness! Yet again, a hidden mob in Minecraft dungeons solves this. My favorites are the hedgehogs and the ferrets. They're just so adorable. And guess what? They don't even attack mobs, and the hedgehogs just roll around. Oh, it's too cute! Wait, why is it putting on shoes? Why is it turning blue? No! Speaking of Minecraft dungeons, it is filled with mobs that so far haven't been added to the regular game. One of these is the Ice Soldier. What a strange name. Thank God some game files call it the Chillager. That's a much better name. The Chillager is a mysterious, cloaked type of pillager and summons ice chunks that it hurls at the player, dealing damage and slowness if it hits. It was actually part of the 2020 Minecraft mob vote, but was just beaten by the Glow Squid. I'm looking at you, Dream. This is why there's an achievement in dungeons called Isologers Revenge, revenge for killing a glow squid with an ice staff. But we'll talk more about the mob votes later, including a hidden Minecraft sea monster? How about this sick-looking wizard illager called the Wind Caller? Apparently it possesses mastery over the wind, so it's literally an airbender. Wind callers fly around in the sky, using its staff to blow gusts of wind at you, as well as summon tornadoes beneath you, launching you into the air. Guys, we've just invented a new form of air travel.
Quaker, 10 grams of fiber. Go with your gut health.
Talking about end frames, some seeds have something a little bit more common, but just as weird. Instead of all the frames being filled, only a few of them will be. But the portal will still be lit. This one has just 9 eyes and a full portal. But you can get portals with only 2 eyes which still work. There's some glitchy mechanics with chunk borders that make this work. When you load the world, the game checks 1 chunk at a time for a finished portal. And if it thinks one part of the frame is complete, it'll spawn the portal before it even looks at the rest. I don't even know what I just said. Cool. But let's head back above ground for a second to look at some crazy world generation. Mojang recently changed how terrain is made to make it seem more realistic. But when you look at this seed, it feels as though they completely messed it up. I promise you, I'm not in an amplified world. This is just how it looks around here. Complete with crazy cliff faces, floating islands, and awesome overhangs, this area has it all. It even has a lava stream burning all the plants near it to the ground. I'll admit, it does look cool when it breaks the bamboo though. Sorry, pandas. But this next one takes the cake for my favorite seed in Minecraft. Take a look at this. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie. It looks like some sort of crazy asteroid belt, or maybe the ring surrounding a planet. I guess because this is a Stony Peaks biome in the middle of an ocean, the game tried to make huge mountains and rocks, but it glitched out in a major way. I could totally imagine someone building a mysterious orb or machine that's supposed to make all of these rocks and precious minerals float in the air like this. I'll do it myself, but building isn't really my strong suit. Now, you're gonna have to trust me when I say that Mojang really did update the world generation recently, because worlds like this one make me question it myself. This seed spawns you right in the middle of the ocean, with no land anywhere to be seen. How does that even happen? The best part about this seed is that there's also tons of dangerous structures nearby, like a drowned ruin here, and even an ocean temple right next to spawn over there. I mean, I can't even make a sword to fight these things off. Is your friend one of those people that has a bunch of those drop chutes in their base to get around? A super simple way to mess with them is to simply change the water to a lapis block, or blue stained glass. But a lot of people have grown wise to this and will check first. That's why you can add this setup of chests and water at the bottom so you can jump down and be totally fine. But when your friend follows you, he'll have a slightly less safe landing. Another similar trap is to place a drip leaf above a huge pit. When you fall onto it, you'll be totally fine. But it'll flip down when your friend falls and send them into the deep dark pit below. Did you know that observers can tell when you hop in a bed? This gives me an idea. Using a simple circuit with a dispenser, you can create a machine that'll stop them from ever sleeping. There's always one guy that's super protective about their builds and won't let you anywhere near them. And obviously, you can't just blow their base up. Or can you? Well, that didn't work. So instead, if you've got any copper in their build, try using an axe on it to change the color, and then waxing it with honeycomb. Or if they have logs, simply strip them with an axe to change the color. Such a simple troll that will easily ruin any friendships you may have left. This super high IQ hack lets you farm mobs in the nether. Most mob farms use water to funnel the mobs into a drop that kills them. But you can't do that in the nether. So instead, use gas in Minecraft. Their big hitbox pushes other mobs to the edges, where you can put a drop down to their doom. It can be great to make a village of your own, complete with villagers, but you need this hack to protect them from invaders. Fill a dispenser with armor and use it to launch the set into a villager. The village will actually use the armor, a perfect defense for your peaceful town. Campfires can look great in your home, but not if it smokes up the place. This hack removes the smoke completely. Just put 2 layers of string on top and the smoke stops. Filling a swimming pool with buckets of water can take way too long. So try this speedy hack instead. Stack ice blocks along 2 edges with a gap between, and then break them down at speed with a pickaxe. The water will spill out in such a way that the whole pool gets filled like magic. This illegal machine lets you open a door simply by taking off a piece of armor. If you set it up exactly like I did here and turn this lectern to page 8, you'll create an undetectable illegal entrance that you shouldn't be able to build. Oh, it also activates when a Ravager roars, but I think you've got bigger problems if that happens. If you're ever stranded at night surrounded by mobs, you can use a composter? But that's right, jumping inside a composter with a trapdoor on top protects you from skeletons skeletons, creepers, and all other mobs in a pinch, making this an illegal, completely portable base. But if you want a more permanent house that's just as quick to build, try bone mealing a red mushroom, chucking a floor in, adding some decorations, and you've got a perfect little fairy tale house that definitely wasn't meant to be a base. If you hide a leashed chicken underground, you can attach the lead to a fence and make what kind of looks like a floating balloon house. You can add some actual balloons up top, and you've basically got the house from up. You know those little waterfalls that come out of mountains? They're perfect for secret entrances. Just break one block behind the source and dig down a little, and then you're free to build anything you want down there. Just be careful not to place any lights too close to the entrance, because that looks sus. If you use invisible item frames with the fake block trick from before, you can create one-way glass that you can use to secretly spy on all of your friends. This one definitely feels illegal. Uh-oh. It was a creeper! When you leave and rejoin a world, you get a couple seconds of invincibility. So if you find yourself in a bit of a spicy situation, you can leave and rejoin over and over and swim to safety like you're made out of obsidian. The shield is one of the most overpowered items in the whole game. It can block fireballs for God's sakes. But did you know that if you go through a portal while holding right-click, you'll be permanently blocking in the next dimension, letting you sprint and attack while literally invincible. You can send secret messages with Skulk blocks. Skulk usually spreads to stone blocks when it absorbs experience, but it won't take over blocks made with slabs. So simply write some letters out with slabs and find a way to cover it. Sometimes it can be difficult to tell just how low durability your tools are while mining, but if you hit F3 and H at the same time, you'll get the exact number of blocks it can mine left, you nerd. A campfire smoke is kinda pathetic. It only lasts for about 10 blocks before fading away. However, if you place a hay bale beneath it, it'll use that extra fuel to create a 25-block high smoke stream. It's obviously super cute that foxes can pick up and steal your items, but did you know they can actually use them too? If you try killing a fox while it's holding a totem, it won't die and just runs away from you like the monster you are. Luckily, this feature doesn't work on dogs. Ever seen this before? Well, if you're from the future, then maybe, because Mojang added bamboo blocks in the recent 1.20 snapshots, having both bamboo and stripped bamboo as separate blocks. I like saying bamboo. Bamboo, bamboo. The old bamboo block required 4 bamboo to craft, while the new one needs 9. This makes them pretty expensive, but at least your house will look cool. If you have a pet axolotl and don't have a name tag to make him your pet, you can scoop him up with a bucket and literally put him into an anvil. But don't worry, we aren't gonna murder him. If you're in a village raid but don't manage to kill all the raiders, that's a cool way to easily find them. If you ring the village bell and wait a few seconds, all remaining raiders within a 40-block radius will all light up with a glowing effect. This one is already semi-known, but hey, your boy's gotta eat. Did you know not all skeletons hold the bow in the same hand? In fact, 11% of the skeletons are left-handed, while 89% are right-handed. Mojang paid close attention to detail here, as this is the exact proportional percent in real life. If you drop a sword near a fox, they can actually pick it up. This means if a fox is holding a sword while attacking, it'll deal the same damage as the sword, making it incredibly overpowered. The best way to move villagers isn't to use minecarts or boats. It's actually just to use a bell. Villagers will all flock to a bed whenever a bell is rung. So if you remove all nearby beds and place just one Riptide Trident, allowing yourself to float for miles with an Elytra. And speaking of Elytras, remember when firework rockets didn't exist, so we had to use punch bows to boost ourselves? Or am I just really old? You're old, son. If your friend wants a nice oxidized copper roof, trick them by secretly waxing the copper blocks with honeycomb. They'll be waiting for days wondering why it's not turning that lovely shade of green. Check out this infinite lightning rod. If you can trap your friend in a room above one, see how long they can survive as lightning constantly strikes around them. Bring extra difficulty by dropping hostile mobs in with them. This deadly trick is devilishly simple. If your friend uses water to jump great distances, put a blue tinted block over the water. It totally...
Staying connected when you're busy is deliciously simple. It's all in the snacks. Ritz, a taste of welcome.
It totally blends in, and you can watch as your friend slams into it at full speed. In Minecraft Bedrock, zombified piglins have a very small chance to spawn into the other world when a nether portal is first lit, which can make for a very scary surprise. Some players, however, have capitalized on this to make overpowered piglin farms that give infinite gold and resources. When you load an arrow or firework rocket into a crossbow, it'll update the icon to your hotbar to let you know which one it has in it. But if you drop the crossbow on the ground, the crossbow no longer shows what item it has in it, at least until you pick it up again. So try not to drop your firework crossbow into a pile of normal ones. Okay, let's be honest, no one is doing that. You should hide at night to protect yourself from monsters, right? Well, not if you're on the rare mushrooms biome. It would be a mistake to waste those nighttime hours, because hostile mobs just don't spawn on mushroom biomes, unless there's a monster spawner. One mistake is not getting a cat. It turns out creepers hate cats and will run if there are too many around your home. Plus, look how cute they are. Aww. Stop using powered rails. They're expensive and unnecessary. If you really want that speed boost, saddle up a pig and put it in the rail cart. No, I'm serious. Riding the pig in the minecart while pushing forward lets you move almost as fast on normal rails as you would on powered ones. Using a furnace for your food is a big mistake. Use a campfire. It doesn't need any fuel, and even if the fire gets put out, you can use a Silk Touch shovel to recover it, and the fire will be lit again. Witches might seem like one of the most dangerous mobs in the game, but they're actually completely defenseless against ranged attacks. If you want to abuse this the most, try grabbing a crossbow and a power 5 bow and shooting them right after each other. The witch dies instantly. Not so powerful now, are you? Striders obviously feel most comfortable in lava. I mean, you've seen what they look like on land, so predictably, if you go to all the effort to bring one from the nether into the overworld, first of all, you're a monster! But secondly, they'll take damage in water. So if you need an unconventional string farm, you know what to do. Magma cubes are more dangerous than slimes, but they still have the same issue. However, the only danger they'll really face is those big cliffs in the nether, since they're immune to fire damage. You may think they're also weak to water like Striders, but for some reason they just like chilling it. I guess there's no water in the nether, so it kinda makes sense. But what if you're just lucky? If you're walking through the game and find this adorable little lamb, you might be the luckiest gamer alive. This pink lamb can naturally spawn, but it's so rare most players never see it. There's only a 0.0082% chance of spawning. You could fake that with dye, but one secret mob you can't fake is a rare and exclusive brown panda. You have to find this super rare panda the hard way. One item Mojang never even intended to make is the fabled triple chest. It has only been recorded once in the entire history of Minecraft, in an old version of the game. In the abandoned mine, back when mine chests didn't spawn in minecarts, they could spawn next to a monster spawner's chest, making a fully functional triple chest. A high-level secret that many players don't know exists is a conduit. This special beacon-style item creates an underwater zone where you can never drown, or hurting any naturally hostile underwater mobs nearby. It's so hard to get though that it needs a heart of the sea, nautilus shells, and plenty of prismarine just to function at all. The blue axolotl is the rarest version of that mob in Minecraft, but the announcement for Caves and Cliffs Part 1 shows off the green axolotl. This was an early version of the axolotl that never made it into the release game, making it even rarer than the blue one. The heart of the sea is this blue orb, but it holds a secret. When fully activated as a conduit, the heart opens, showing a staring orange eye. This ancient fact is from even before Minecraft was made. It turns out the original apple sprite in Minecraft is from a previous game made by Notch, called Legend of the Chambered. Don't be so hasty with enchantments. Some have hidden properties, like quick charge. At level 6 and above, crossbows with this enchantment stops the reload animation at the first frame, which is before the crossbow is loaded, and so won't load at all. Here's a trick that will freak your friends out. Carpet can actually be placed on any non-air block, even lava. It's tricky and dangerous, but you can walk on lava like it's nothing. It's easiest with moss carpet, as that doesn't burn. And for even more detail in these buildings, try using this square character to make it look like signs are nailed down. This works really well for boarding up doors and windows. You can even use spruce trap doors placed on the ground to give the effect that a door was broken down. Waterlogged stairs can be used to make tiny creeks that wind throughout your buildings, but a more practical use for them is to add water sources to your farms that you can't fall into. Animation is the best way to make any building come alive, and the absolute easiest way to do this is to hide a spore blossom somewhere. They create a bunch of these tiny little green particles that are just so pretty. Sometimes the flames from fire and campfires are just way too big, so instead try putting an armor stand below ground in lava for a much smaller and way cuter little flame. Oh, look at it, so tiny. By placing banners below stair blocks, you can make couches with cushions. This also works for beds and comfy chairs. If you want to be able to actually use your chairs, you can push a stair or slab into a minecart and you'll be able to sit in it. And if you want chairs to put outside, campfires make great benches coupled with signs and trapdoors. They also work great in log piles to add extra detail in the form of tiny little logs or sticks, as some people call them. I also like to add barrels, fences, and slabs to these to add extra detail and storage to a survival build like this. Unfortunately, you can only get invisible item frames in creative, but there's sort of a solution in survival. If you place a block in an item frame on the floor, a snow layer will fully cover up the item frame but leave the block exposed, allowing you to, I don't know, make pebbles or something? You know how to make a birdcage? But how about an aquarium? This one's actually even easier, but probably just as cruel. All you have to do is surround a chest with trapdoors, place a glass block on top, then waterlog the chest with a bucket of fish, and boom! You've trapped him forever. So
When the track is popping and the snacks show-stopping.
And boom! You've trapped him forever. Sorry, fishy. Cobwebs aren't just good for making a cave or mineshaft feel extra creepy. They're also good for adding custom smoke to chimneys and for adding a net to a basketball hoop. Most people know you can make a really convincing dead tree with stripped logs and mangrove roots. So instead, try creating a dead warped tree with muddy mangrove roots, dead coral, and hanging roots. Oh yeah, muddy mangrove roots with a candle on top makes a pretty convincing watermelon if you ever need that for some reason. Rooted Dirt finally gave us another dirt block that's not just gonna turn into grass instantly, giving us way more decoration options. One of my favorite ways to use this is to mix rooted and coarse dirt in a pattern like this to make wheel tracks through a forest. Unfortunately, snowmen don't do damage to mobs with their attacks, but they will push them back and get their attention. If you spread a bunch of them out in tall towers around your base, they'll totally stop any mobs from attacking you and keep you safe. And if it's players you're worried about, try swapping a snowman out for a skeleton and adding fire around it to create a truly spicy surprise for any intruders. I think the most underrated item in 1.20 is the calibrated skulk sensor. When you place an amethyst block next to it, it'll relay any signal it gets to any other nearby sensors. Using this, you can create essentially infinite wireless redstone that's only activated by certain noises in certain places. So if I eat this piece of food here, sensors will relay the signal along and teleport me using this Ender Pearl status machine. This will make your base literally impossible to find. You should know that if you're playing on hard mode, a door probably isn't enough to keep you safe from zombies. So instead, try placing 2 end rods like this as a door instead. You can slide through perfectly, but mobs have a really hard time. And if end rods aren't your style, this works with bamboo, different kinds of fences, and even lightning rods, but I'll be careful using these in bad weather. These do have a slight drawback though, as if you manage to anger enough mobs, it can push each other through. So for an entrance that's almost foolproof, add a line of cobblestone walls with some carpets on top. Not even spiders can get past. This fun hack will protect your buildings from being mined away by dirty, griefing players. It's simple, just hide an Elder Guardian underneath your home, and breaking your walls and floors will become near impossible. Another way to defend is to make sure your enemy actually dies with this high IQ hack. Normally your enemy can jump out of lava, but if you put a honey block under a cauldron with lava in it, it becomes way harder and almost guarantees they won't survive. This weird hack lets you actually sleep among the fishes. It turns out you can put a bed underwater, and it will make an air pocket when you lie in that bed. You can even use this hack to hide your bed away, because nobody will expect to see it there. Freak your friends out with this wild pig riding hack. See, if you make your floor out of path blocks, you can ride